interrupt again here. You see, we want to understand how this all began. This wedding and this plan to spend a lifetime together. I'm awful interested in how big things like that begin. You won't know how it is. You're 21 or you're 22 and you make a few decisions and then wish you're 70. You've been a lawyer for 50 years and that white-haired lady sitting next to you has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. Well, how do such things begin? George and Emily are now going to show you the conversation they had when they first knew that, well, as the saying goes, that they were meant for one another. But first, I want you to remember what it was like to have been very young, and particularly in the days when you were first in love, when you were like a person sleepwalking. And you didn't quite hear everything that was being said to you. And you didn't quite see what street you were in. You were just a little bit crazy. Will you remember that? Please? Now, they'll be coming out of high school at 3 o'clock. George has just been elected president of his junior class. See, that means he's president of the senior class all next year. Emily has just been elected secretary and treasurer. Well, I don't have to tell you how important that is. Here they are, coming down Main Street now.
Louise, I can't. I've got to go home. Ernestine, can you come over tonight and relax? Isn't that just the worst thing? Oh, well, tell your mother you have to. Goodbye. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Fred.
Emily! Can I carry your books home for you?
Oh, thank you. It is an honor.
Oh, wait just a minute here, Emily. Oh, Bob, if I'm late, start practice without me. Oh, and give Herb some long high ones.
Goodbye, Lizzie.
Goodbye, Lizzie. I'm awfully glad you were elected, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
You've been treating me so funny lately.
Since you asked, I might as well come right out with it. George, goodbye, Miss Corcoran.
Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. Oh, what is it?
I don't like the changes come over you in the last year. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I've got to tell the truth and shame the devil.
Change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. I used to watch you as you did everything, because we've been friends so long. And then you started spending all your time at baseball, and you never stopped to speak to anybody anymore, not even your own family. You did it. And George, it's a fact you've gotten awful conceited and stuck up, and all the girls say so. And it hurts me to hear them say it, but I've got to agree with them a little. I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but I'm not sorry I said it.
I'm glad you said it, Emily. You know, I never thought that such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fellow not to have some faults creep into his character.
Well, I always expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father's perfect. And as far as I can see, yours is too. There's no reason on earth why you shouldn't be.
Well, I feel that it's the other way around, that men aren't naturally good, but girls are.
You might as well know right now that I'm not perfect. It's not as easy for a girl to be perfect as a man, because we girls are more nervous.
Emily.
Now, I don't know why I said it. I don't know what made me say it. I can suddenly see that it isn't true at all. I suddenly feel it isn't important anyway.
Emily, would you like to get an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
I would.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Oakland.
Why, hello, George. Hello, Emily. What do you have? What, Emily?
she just had an awful scare. She almost just got run over by that hardware store wagon, Mr. Morgan. You know that Tom Hawkins drives like a crazy man.
Well, now, you take a drink of water now, Emily. You look all shook up. I tell you, you gotta look both ways before you cross Main Street nowadays. It's worse every week. What do you have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate with you, Mr. Morgan.
No, Emily, have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir, yes, sir. I tell you, there are 150 horses in Grover's Corners this minute I'm talking to you. The state inspector came in yesterday, and now they're bringing in all these automobiles, and I tell you, the best thing to do is just stay off the streets. Well, you know, I remember a time when a dog could go to sleep in the middle of Main Street, and nothing come along to disturb him. Well, there they are. Enjoy them. Why, Mrs. Ellis, what can I do for you?
They're so expensive.
No, don't think of that. We're celebrating our election. Do you know what else I'm celebrating?
No?
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be told me.
Please, George, please don't think of that. I don't know what made me say it. It isn't
No,
true.
Emily, you stick to it. You know, I'm glad you spoke to me like you did, but you'll see, I'm going to change so quick. You bet I'm going to change. And Emily, I want to ask you a favor.
What?
Emily, if I go away to State Agriculture College next year, will you write me a letter once in a while?
I certainly will. I certainly will, George. No, it certainly seems like after 3 years, we get a little out of touch with things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners wouldn't be so interesting after a while. Grover's Corners isn't a very important place for me, but all New Hampshire, but I think it's a very nice town.
The day wouldn't come when I wouldn't want to know everything that's happening here. And I know that's true, Emily.
I'll try to make my letters interesting then.
You know, Emily, whenever I meet a farmer, I ask him if he thinks it's a good idea to go to agriculture school.
Why, George?
Yeah, and some of them even say it's a waste of time. You can get all that information from the pamphlets the government sends out. And Uncle Luke's getting old. I say he's about ready for me to take over his farm tomorrow, if I could.
My.
And like you said, being gone all that time in other places and meeting other people. Gosh, if anything like that can happen, I don't want to go away. You know, I guess new people probably aren't any better than old ones are. I'll bet they almost never are. And Emily, I feel as you're as good of a friend as I got. I don't need to go and meet the people in other towns.
George, maybe it's important for you to go and learn about cattle judging and soils and those things. Of course, I don't know.
Emily, I'm going to make up my mind right now. I won't go. I'll tell Pa about it tonight.
George, I don't see why you have to make a decision. It's a whole year away.
No. Emily, I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. What you said was right. There was one thing wrong in it. That's where you said that I wasn't noticing people and you. For instance, why you said you were watching me when I did everything. I was doing about the same to you. Well, why sure, I always thought about you as one of the chief people I thought about, and I always made sure where you were sitting on the bleachers and who you were with, and for 3 days now, I've tried to walk you home, but some things have always gotten in the way. And just yesterday, I was standing over against the wall waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Corcoran.
Why, George, life's so funny. How could I have known?
Listen,
I thought...
Emily, I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to agriculture school. person you're very fond of. Oh, and I mean a person who's fond of you too, and who likes you well enough to be interested in your character. Well, I think that's just as important as college is. And even more so. That's what I think.
I think that's awful important too.
Emily?
Yes, George?
Emily, if I do improve and make a big change, would you be... I mean, could you be...
I am now. I always have been.
So, I guess this is an important talk we're having.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wait just a minute here, Emily. I'll walk you home. Say, Mr. Morgan, I'll have to run home and get the money to pay you for it.
Why, George Gibbs, do you mean to tell me that you can't...
Yes, but I have the money, I swear. It'll only take 5 minutes for me to run home. Here, take my gold watch.
Keep your watch. I'll trust you.
It'll only be 5 minutes, I
I'll
swear,
trust you
Mr.
10
Morgan.
years, George. Not a day over. You got all over your shock, Emily?
Yes, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing.
I'm ready.